Welcome to the SEC.
Our program will be built on 4 principles in which I talk about all the time: toughness, effort, discipline, and pride.
Dang it! I'm going to have to buy that boy cream cone.
Now I'm distracted on my point. What were we talking about?
It's bullcrap. All I care about is winning. Show me the dang baby.
You do it till they do it right, and then you do it till they can't do it wrong.
Go get him. Why are you dancing around? Eat him like he's a steak.
He fits what TexAgs Radio is about. He fits into what the listeners are going to want. He's a pro on every level.
That's how long I've been on ya.
It's Nuno and the crew on TexAgs Radio, right here on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
You know how long I've been on ya.
Good morning, Bryan College Station. I am Ryan Brauninger. This is TexAgs Radio presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. I'm inside the lovely Rollo Insurance Studios with the one, the only, Olin Buchanan this morning. OB, happy 4th of July late.
Yes, sir.
It's 8:06 on a Tuesday morning. I got to get kind of recalibrated after a long weekend. I always do. But I wanted to say good Monday morning when we opened the show there. But it is the dog days of summer. How was your weekend?
Excellent, but not as eventful as yours.
Yeah, mine got started on Friday with an engagement.
Did you get on one knee?
I did. I didn't know if I could. There's actually video of it. That's something that me and her want to kind of keep for ourselves.
Yeah.
But there is video evidence of me getting down on a knee and getting up. That was one of the biggest things I was nervous about.
Getting up?
Yeah, I haven't taken a knee in a long time. But it's nerve-wracking, dude. Like, I knew she was going to say yes.
Well,
Maybe you didn't know if Irma was going to say yes.
No, I knew Irma was going to say yes. How could she say no?
Does she listen?
Sometimes. I don't know if she's listening now, but, I mean, I had her wrapped.
Yeah.
I had her wrapped around my finger.
Yeah, you've said it. You told us many stories to and from Omaha a couple weeks ago. But, that's one thing that I don't think that I was ready for. Like, I had it all planned out. I knew how it was going to go down. But you still, man, like, and Logan actually told me, he's like, you're going to black out. Like, you won't even remember. Just get the words out. Logan said he had, like, this big, long thing planned out he wanted to say, and he didn't get half of it out.
I thought I had this great idea. I put the ring in a box in a little bag, one of those real small gift bag things. Mm-hmm. And our dogs have always been very important to us. So our dog at the time, I put it around the collar, right? So the dog would come up to her and she would see this thing, right? Because she knew, I mean, it wasn't like, again, there was no drama. So, well, the dog went crazy with this thing around and it was jumping around. It looked like a bull coming out of the chute. And so she's like, what's going on? So now she's panicked, thinks the dog's having a seizure. So it didn't kind of go off as I had planned.
She figured it out, I'm guessing. You told her, no, you need to look around his neck. How'd that go?
No, I mean, the thing's going around his neck.
So she finally grabbed it.
Yeah, like a propeller because he's, the dog was, yanking her head around, didn't want that thing around. It was, like I said, it didn't go off as planned.
Well, my fiance, and that's one of the things that I've had to correct myself a couple of times, and girlfriend or fiance, but my fiance, Ashley, was outside working in her garden. She loves working in her garden.
Yeah.
And she's got all kind of vegetables and stuff planted in our backyard.
Okay.
And I came in with the ring from David Gardner's, who they were awesome. Quick promo for them because they've been a long-time sponsor.
Yeah.
They were over-the-top nice and helpful in there.
How about that?
And because I went in there and I told them, I was like, look, all I know is what she likes, but I've got no idea what I'm looking at here. Can y'all help me? And they kind of held my hand through every step of that process and really got it done really quick and got the ring that Ashley wanted and that we were really happy with. And within kind of the expected price range of what I wanted to spend, it was perfect. Just a great experience dealing with David Gardner.
Did you spend 2 months pay? 2 months pay? Because that's the
old rule.
The rule
that came out like they said in like the 1950s or 60s. That was like a deal where you need to spend 2 months paycheck on a diamond ring. That was like the old. I don't know where it started, but that was like from what I read at least. But I mean, I don't need to get into specifics, but it's a nice ring.
Nice ring.
But so I when she was out there working on the garden, I got our song. Every couple has a song. I got our song queued up on our smart TV, It's a guy playing acoustic guitar, and he's singing it, right?
Okay.
So I opened the back door. She's out there with the dog in the garden. I said, hey, have you seen what's all over this rug in here in the living room?
Oh.
And so she thought the dog had done something.
Yeah.
And so she comes in, and she's kind of angry, upset with the dog. And she comes in, and she's like, I don't even see anything, Ron. What are you talking about? So when she turned around.
There you are.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of how I did it.
Nice.
Because in my mind, Olin, she had all these places picked out where this was going to go down.
Yeah.
So, like,
So
if I
You want
invite,
to throw a curveball.
right. So I think the surprise, the spontaneity of it, I think was really important.
Yeah.
I think like that, the surprise of it was a bigger deal than me doing it at some grandiose place or in some grandiose fashion. I think she liked the simplicity and the spontaneity of it.
I tried to get Irma. We took a trip to Hawaii before we were engaged, and I found out, this is how romantic I am. I found out that the sales tax in Hawaii was just 2%. So I was like, let's pick out a ring
right now. Yeah,
I'm going to save 8% on sales tax. And she wouldn't. She wouldn't cut me a break.
Casanova.
She wouldn't cut me a break. And I said, well, whatever ring you want, pick it out. Let's go get one right now.
But it was fun, man. And it was
good. I'm glad.
The outpouring of
congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. And just the over-the-top outpouring of people reaching out to congratulate us was really, it was cool. And you don't really realize how many people are, I guess not, they care about what's going on in your life until a big moment like that happens.
Well,
so that was really cool. And
Ryan Brauninger's off the market, ladies. So
yeah, I guess that's what that means, right?
Yeah. So
by some people, I've been off the market by my standards for a while, but from other people may not have the same standard of what on and off the market means. We also went over that on our trip to Omaha.
Well, there's a ring involved now.
Right. That's exactly
I say
right.
that you're not off the market until there's a ring on the finger.
Yep.
But there's going to be heartbroken ladies all across Bryan College Station hanging out in those country
Richard's
bars.
Richard's next.
Yeah.
What'd you do for the 4th?
Went down to South Padre. Spent a lot of time in the water on the beach.
Tell me about the breakfast.
I've been trying to eat a lot better and healthier.
We put on a few in Omaha.
Yeah. So since we got back, and I felt like I've been doing really well. And we were with some friends, and we found this place.
Hold on, we ate so bad that when Olin, he's on his way, we're on our drive home, and he's saying multiple times, I'm eating nothing but chicken and salad for the next couple of weeks. I'm serious. I'm not going to eat.
And I was doing great. And then we go down there, and I order breakfast, and, I get eggs, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Irma orders this the sampler at this place called Josephine's. If you're ever going to have breakfast down in South Padre, I'm telling you, find this place, Josephine's. It's amazing.
Pictures you showed me looked incredible.
And her breakfast came with these things called cinnamon roll pancakes. I've heard of cinnamon roll French toast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, I don't want it. She said, you got to have it. So finally I realized she's going to badger me until I do what she says, which is pretty much sums up our existence. But anyway, so I finally take a bite and I go, oh my God, this is like, this is food porn here. This is incredible. So I ended up eating the whole pancake, and then we went back the next day and I just ordered some.
So, I mean, South Padre all day or all weekend, and then back to College Station last night. And
no, we left Friday. So we
Okay.
were there. My sister-in-law has a condo. She's gracious enough to let us use it.
Cool.
And so we took advantage. We freeloaded.
Just you and Irma, no Quinn?
No, Quinn didn't go. He didn't want to do anything with us. So we have very good friends that live on our block from Iowa. He works in the engineering department here. And then we have friends that live down there who had their condo. So there was the 6 of us hanging out.
Well, Olin will be with us till about 9:30 this morning. Sam Kamen is flipping the switches back there. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning. How we doing?
You may be involved in what Dalton and I would typically call a penalty kill there at the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour. We got some stuff that we can get. We actually got a lot of stuff we can get into nationally. But what'd you do over the weekend, Sam? Watch any fireworks?
We just grilled out at I'm actually watching Dave while David's on the cruise. I'm watching his house and the dogs and bunnies. So I got to.
Hold on, bunnies?
Yes.
I didn't know Nuno had pet rabbits.
Are they bad bunnies? Because I know he's all into.
Yeah, he is on.
Well, we turned on the TV, and the first thing that was playing outside was Bad Bunny.
Of course.
On the YouTube, he was just listening to Bad.
No, he
Bad
wasn't
Bunny
just listening. He was probably had his shirt off, like mowing the grass or doing push-ups.
Or just dancing around like Tom Cruise in Risky Business.
You think that's what Nuno does in his own home?
Yeah, with a big mirror to watch himself. I'm playing. Nuno's not like that.
I don't think he's even listening. He's on a cruise.
Yeah, he's on a cruise, so we can disparage him all we want.
He was texting early this morning.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
He's up. He had to get his workout in.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Well, speaking of Nuno, his workout partner will be in here too at 10 o'clock to help us close out the show. Luch calls David Formio because David is always critiquing Billy's form in the gym, apparently. Those two's little gym bromance has become quite the comedy routine. It's very funny to me.
Hans and Franz.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, from Saturday Night Live. But look, we got a lot of stuff we're going to get to. We're going to go to a break. I did want to give a shout out to Joey Chestnut.
Yeah.
I mean, the most American thing ever on the 4th of July. Got pound 63. Was it 60? How many?
I thought it was 73. Hot dogs.
How many glizzies did he?
63. I think the record is like 73.
Oh, okay.
Dalton. That's what Dalton was doing all week in the beach in Mexico, was eating hot dogs. He kept texting us, I'm having another glizzy on the beach in Mexico.
Did y'all see the video of the protester?
No, that's what I was talking about, dude. Like, the guy eats 63 hot dogs on one leg. He's on crutches. He had a cast on his left leg. And this guy comes up to protest, and Joey Chestnut, with a mouthful of hot dog, puts the guy in a chokehold, puts him to the ground, gets up, and still wins the contest. And one of the great athletes of our generation.
20.
Yeah. What was the guy protesting?
I couldn't even. It's something
hot
about
dogs.
It was
the Death Star.
Something Death Star. Yeah, he was like wearing a Darth Vader.
Then
mask.
he needs to be beat up.
Well, you know, if that was your goal, was to get your product, and then like the end result of what you did, like you're trying to get your message out there, but the end result is that nobody can remember what you were protesting.
Yeah, that was probably a fail.
Right, and then you just got.
I thought it might be like a PETA guy wanting to be upset because
I don't know. I don't know what it was. That's the thing. Like, that's what we're saying.
Along those lines.
Yeah, like, and everybody's going to remember you as the guy that got choked out.
Yeah, you're like Robin Ventura.
Well, Robin Ventura had a great career.
Yeah, but
nobody
all you really
know
remember,
this guy's name.
No, but what most people remember is him getting his butt kicked by a 40-year-old man when he rushed him out on no.
Yeah, but what's one of the best athletes of all time?
He got his butt kicked.
But I guess he did rush the greatest eating champion of all time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the guy had 7 hot dogs in his mouth and choked him out right there, got back up
I
and
would have
kept
been
going.
choked with 7 by 7.
But listen, if you're Joey Chestnut and somebody randomly walks up behind you while you got a mouthful of food and you don't know who, like, my first thought is, I'm going to get violent with you.
My first thought is they wanted to give him the Heimlich maneuver. 7 hot dogs in his mouth.
Whatever. All right, when we come back, we're going to get into some football stuff. There is a huge, I guess, tectonic plate style shift happening in college football, and we need to get into that conference realignment, what it means, and what does the future of the sport look like? Is it even recognizable anymore? I got a lot of questions for OB. We'll get to your comments. Don't forget 979-693-1150 on the BCSI hotline or the AMB, Amarillo National Bank text line to interact with the show. I want to get your thoughts on our topic of the day. Basically, are you happy with the direction of college football, or what do you think of the direction of college football? And there, we go into a lot of different avenues in ways to tackle that question. So we'll get into that and a lot more when we come back. You're listening to TexAgs Radio on the Zone.
So we did it in June. We had to get ourselves a new vehicle, and I knew we were going to go to Caldwell Country because I know Zach Hester, I know the crew out there. But honestly, like, even though I had done service through them, I had never purchased a vehicle there. I had heard from all the other TexAgs employees that had done it, like, yeah, it's completely different than messing with the other guys. It's just a better experience. And now I can vouch for it. It is not a bit. It is truly a remarkable place to go buy a vehicle. Dylan took really good care of me. Austin took great care of me as well. And, Zach Hester's got a reputation for being one of the best out there. They give to this community so much. Caldwell Country Chevrolet. It's a great experience when you're looking for a vehicle. They'll help you find the right one. They won't pressure you into buying the one that you don't want. They know your budget. They will help you get there. 15-minute drive, Brian and Caldwell, short conversation away. Well, you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and you do business with Zach and the fellas there at Caldwell Country. Caldwell Country Chevrolet. It's on Highway 21 in Caldwell and online at caldwellcountrychevrolet.com.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. Wednesday mornings this summer, Hospice Brazos Valley is offering a free grief support class for adults grieving the death of a loved one. Contact Hospice Brazos Valley for more information. The Arts Council of the Brazos Valley invites public and private school teachers, active and retired, to submit their work for a new exhibit called Saved by the Bell, celebrating art education in the Brazos Valley. Find more information at acbv.org. Come to the Bush Library on Thursday, July 21st at 6 p.m. to hear Ambassador Larry Napper discuss the war in Ukraine and its impact on the future. RSVP is required. Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Brazos Valley is seeking adult volunteers. Go online to bbbsbrazos.com. You can listen to The Zone online at radioaggieland.com. Listen to TexAgs Radio, The Louis Bellina Show, Chip Howard, or ESPN Radio, plus all your favorite A&M teams online at radioaggieland.com. That's your community calendar. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
Since 1957, Slovakic Sausage in Chestnut has been making the best tasting sausage in Texas from the same family recipe. Slovakic is the official sausage of Texas A&M Athletics. Whether it's from the grill to the family gathering or from the pit to the neighborhood party, serve the sausage voted best in the Brazos Valley. Serve Slovakic. Be sure to come in and check out their full-service meat market, relax on the front porch, or grab some fresh kolaches from their bakery on your way out. Slovakic Sausage, Highway 60 in Chestnut.
Hey parents, when it comes to your child's education, there's a lot to consider. No matter what you're searching for, search the Bryan Broadcasting half-price tuition program first. We've partnered with schools and learning centers throughout the area to get your students started with high-quality programs at half price. Right now, we're featuring half-price tuitions at Hopewell Classical Day School, Kinder Music, Happy Camper School, and more. Half-price tuitions are first come, first served, and availability is limited. Go to halfpricebrazos.com.
The flagship station for Aggie Athletics is The Zone. Whenever the Aggies are playing, you can hear them right here at 1150 and 93.7 FM. Thanks to our listeners and our Aggie broadcast sponsors, Schulte Roofing, Prosperity Bank, Hargrove Insurance, and Rudy's Barbecue. Here's a big gig 'em to all these sponsors. Listen to Aggie Athletics on The Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM.
The Louis Bellina Show and Field the Family would love for you and your family to have the bestest, greatest summer ever. Enter now, go to zone1150.com, and you can win a Texas Summer Survival Kit. Go to Fiesta, Texas, Six Flags. Go to Cinemark Theater. Go to a Brazos Valley Bombers game. Win a gift card to Superior Auto Service and Field the Family. Enter now. You can win Treat the Family to a Texas Summer Survival Kit. Go to zone1150.com.
You know the day destroys the night, night divides the day.
Welcome back. TexAgs Radio presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. I'm Ryan Brauninger. That's Olin Buchanan. We are going to get into some actual sports talk for those of you that are already pissed that we have went a whole segment without talking about conference realignment and what it means for college football, and that will be the topic basically for the remainder of the show. And there is so much to unpack here, Olin, and we know it comes down to one thing, and it comes down to money. But let's start the conversation with this. Are you happy with the direction of college football?
Well, I'm not happy with it. I'm more of a traditionalist kind of guy for the most part. Not 100%, but for the most part. And I like the region. I like the regionality, if that's a word, of college football. And that's being absolutely destroyed. But well, it's just, I understand it.
I was talking about direction, and obviously conference realignment is the main topic, but I'm talking about the entirety of the sport. Like, are you happy with NIL? Are you happy with the transfer portal? Like, the entire direction of the thing?
None of that. I mean, I understand the need for NIL, but again, no rules were ever put in place. I don't know how you're going to retroactively go back and try to.
You can't
right.
put the genie back in the bottle.
Again, and that goes back to the inept organization that the NCAA is.
Well, but that's NIL's not NCAA.
I know, but
This goes back to Maverick Carter, LeBron James, and Gavin Newsom sitting in a room in California.
Nope.
They signed the bill into law, and they said, look, we're these great people that we've done all this stuff. You guys figure the rest of it out.
The NCAA, if you had any kind of foresight at all, you could have realized, look, if this ever gets into court, and it's been trending that way for years, we're going to lose. So let's be proactive. Let's create an NIL, but let's put our rules on it. So then it never went to Congress. But so that's why the NCAA could have done something and never did. And so now you're I don't like the transfer portal. I thought was a good idea, but again, there was no rules. In fact, the only rule they took away that you didn't have to.
Well, I think reinforcing that you have to sit out for a year would change a lot of what's going on in the transfer portal. The only stipulation on the transfer portal is dates.
Right.
You got to be in by a certain date. That's it for every sport. Mm-hmm. College sports now, for what it was even 4 years ago, completely different.
Yeah.
It's completely different. It's almost unrecognizable. And so let me ask you, so this all curtails into this question. Are we witnessing the end of the NCAA?
Yes. Yes. I think maybe Mark Emmert finally, for the first time in his tenure, and even guys before him, finally saw the future, looked ahead, and said, "Oh, I better do something. So I'm going to go ahead and retire before we're just dissolved anyway." It's a worthless organization. The NCAA is only as powerful as the programs allow them to be, and what you're seeing is the major programs, the ones, again, like A&M and Texas and Michigan, Ohio State, that always had what they wanted to do was always blocked by the Akrons and Rice and the smaller programs are fine, and that's what made the NCAA what it was that the big programs had to do what the majority wanted, and then they finally said, no, we're going for autonomy, and it's been changing ever since. And now I think you're getting even closer. I've always thought that eventually college football, the big conferences would break off from the NCAA and form their own governing body, right? And I thought it'd be like 5 conferences and about 70-something teams. And it may be 70-something teams, but it may not be 5 conferences.
Well, 979-693-1150, the BCSI hotline, the A&B text line to interact with the show. I don't know that it's going to get to 70. This is a weird time. What happens to programs like Baylor and Oklahoma State? You better find a place to go. And you better find a place to go pretty quick, because this is all unraveling, seems like every week. So after, was it USC and UCLA were on Friday, right? They announced it. Was it Friday or was it last Thursday? I know it's all running together now. But at the end of last week, they announced that they're going to the Big Ten in the future. And now we're going to talk about that, just that move by itself. But then the fallout from that has now been all these other conferences are looking to add schools that, and there's no, like you said, there's no regionality to it. But what do we see? Miami, Florida State, Clemson to the SEC. Reports on that. Reports on Utah, Colorado, Arizona State to the Big 12. But, is that conference, is the new Big 12 with those schools and with Baylor, Oklahoma State, West Virginia, are they in the same division or whatever we're going to call this with the new SEC and the new Big 10 and potentially the new ACC? And what happens in the ACC? That's what I'm saying. These two, it looks like the SEC and the Big 10 are on their way to being mega super conference. Mm-hmm. Yes. Of 25, 26 teams?
Well, if I was the SEC, I have no interest in Miami, but I'd be interested in.
You don't interested in that TV market?
No, because I've already got Florida, so I got the whole state of Florida.
But you know that South Florida and North Florida are way different, man.
Have you ever seen a big crowd in the last 20 years at a Miami?
Yeah, but I know game? Go look at the TV numbers in the market. This is coming down. We know that's coming down to dollars and cents.
I understand it. I'm just saying that if I had Florida and Florida State, and you said they may approach Florida State.
Yeah.
I've got the Miami market. That's like saying if I have Houston, I've got Texas and A&M, but I need Houston to get the Houston market.
Yeah, but Miami's got way more history than the University of Houston, man. They way more cachet.
Yeah, and they've got probably fewer people that care.
No, I don't know.
I would go after North Carolina.
For the basketball and the academic?
No, because for you, remember they played in the Orange Bowl against Texas A&M just 2 years ago.
Well, what's more attractive about them than Virginia Tech?
More population.
I mean, we're splitting hairs on this stuff, but I just can't. You can't ignore the Miami market and then say you want the Chapel Hill market over Blacksburg. I think Blacksburg's closer to DC, isn't it?
No.
Then
it may be closer, but I don't think you get DC with Virginia
it's in
Tech.
Western.
Maybe if you have Virginia, you get DC. Yeah. Hell, you get more with DC if you have Maryland. The Big Ten has DC.
Well, I just when you're adding markets and you're looking at the new footprint of what's going on.
If I get North Carolina, I get Raleigh, I get Charlotte. Those are two of the larger cities in the country.
Well, but my question still remains: what happens to that next tier program?
Well, that's a great question, and I don't know, who's. If I'm the ACC, I'm real paranoid right now because I don't know. Can I keep Clemson? Can I keep Florida State? Can I keep North Carolina, who runs the ACC? And if I can't, if I was to lose those three, what have I got?
You don't have much.
I've got Miami, which again,
Miami ain't staying, dude. Miami ain't staying in that conference.
No, they're not going to stay as long as they're as they get an invitation to go somewhere.
Right.
I think you're overvaluing Miami.
No, I think the name of that program in that city, in that market, is going to let them go wherever they want to go. That's what I think. I think they'd get in over. I mean,
who has a better program right now, Miami or Oregon?
Oregon, but Oregon is going to be in the new Big Ten. They're already in Notre Dame, and
from what I understand, Oregon and Washington already approached the Big Ten, and the Big Ten said, "No, we're good." Have you seen that story?
Yes, in fact, I think I had it
pulled up. So you're saying they're going to the Big Ten? The Big Ten says, "No, I don't think you are." I'm sure Oregon and Washington would love to be in the Big Ten. The Big Ten said,
Right. So we're talking about that. I mean, Oregon is kind of new, right? A newer power program.
And they've been good about as long as Miami's been bad or average.
Yeah. But I just think that the West is run by LA, right? And that's why I think you saw USC and UCLA make that move together. Yeah. But and it looks in the Big Ten is clearly throwing like regionality completely
out the window.
And the SEC can pull in all these schools. You mentioned North Carolina. Go take all those. You can take the Florida schools. You can take Clemson, and keep it regional. You know, you don't have to go out and go across the country to add anybody. You got people wanting to come in that are still in your region. That's why I think that, to me, Miami makes a lot of sense. If you're going to expand this thing, I think Miami makes a lot of sense.
I would be, if I was Greg Sankey, I would have no interest in Miami at all.
Man, it's a big market.
It's a private school that, first of all, the market's not as big as you think, and they don't. The city of Miami is a pro town, and yeah, they'll jump on board if Miami is
the
best.
Dolphins have no following. The Marlins have no following.
I guarantee you they have a hell of a lot more following than the Miami Hurricanes.
Well, when the
Miami Hurricanes can't draw 30,000. They don't even have an on-campus stadium.
The old Orange Bowl was one of the most intimidating places to play, right?
When they were good.
Right. Just like the Heat, just like the Marlins. It's a front-running town. But it's a huge TV market, man.
And you have that, just like when you got Texas and A&M, you have the Houston market.
You don't think Miami, the new Hard Rock?
I guarantee you
sells out when they got Bama coming to town.
I don't know. If they do, it's because all the people from Bama are coming down. It's like Vanderbilt.
Whoa!
Whoa. A private school in a big city. It's a private school in a big city that. When I lived there, you know how many people in Nashville care about Vanderbilt? Nobody. They're Tennessee fans.
Just look at the the impressions that Miami still makes on sports media. It's got to be right up there with, probably a top 15, and you could add that market.
I'm telling you, already have the market.
I don't think so. I think you could do way better. I think they're going to get an invitation when this thing expands because it's Miami Miami.
I'm not an expert on it, but I'm telling you that.
But you already had so why'd they bring in
brand.
Texas?
Huh?
Why'd the SEC bring in Texas? You already had the Houston market, right?
Yeah, you do. And I don't know, but I guess.
Why'd they bring in Oklahoma?
Well, with Oklahoma, you do. You get the Oklahoma City and Tulsa markets, and those are much bigger than you think.
This is all coming down to viewership.
By the way,
and
you
money.
understand Texas has a. I just heard Sam just chimed in. Oh, it's all about the brand. Well, like it or not, that Cowhead is one of the bigger brands.
So is that you?
I'm telling you, people don't even go to the games there. The people there don't care about.
We'll
Miami.
see what Cristobal does. He's obviously got that fan base and donor base.
Yeah, he's probably going to do the same thing that Diaz did.
Whoa. You don't think they're going to be any good anytime soon?
No, I think they're going to be what they are now.
Okay. All right. Well, clearly
they're not terrible, but
look, and we mentioned one school. There's so much other, and we still haven't answered the question: is what happens to the next tier? But we got to go. We got to go to break. We come back. We'll get into that. Like I said, there are a million questions that come up when you talk about this stuff. He's Olin Buchanan. I'm Ryan Brauninger. You're listening to TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
Who cares if he's wearing a medium and tight pants? 3, 2, 1, go. It's TexAgs Radio with David Nuno on The Zone.
You know us through the Aggie Ring and our work helping current and former students. You also know that we work to uphold our traditions and help bring Aggies together around the world. We are the Association of Former Students, and it's our mission to provide resources, support programs, and cultivate the experiences that you know and love. But have you ever stopped and wondered why? Why does the association support Texas A&M and Texas Aggies? Why are we always here, there, and everywhere for the Aggie Network? Why do we tirelessly work to ensure that the Aggie experience is both unforgettable and life-changing? Well, you may be surprised to learn that the answer to why is as unique as your own Aggie story. That's why we created IamTheWhy.com, a place for shared Aggie stories and unique perspectives. It's where you can hear the why, see the why, and discover why Aggies like you are the why. Visit IamTheWhy.com today.
Since 1957, Slovakic Sausage in Snook has been making the best tasting sausage in Texas from the same family recipe. Slovakic is the official sausage of Texas A&M Athletics. Whether it's from the grill to the family gathering or from the pit to the neighborhood party, serve the sausage voted best in the Brazos Valley. Serve Slovakic. Be sure to come in and check out their full-service meat market, relax on the front porch, or grab some fresh kolaches from their bakery on your way out. Slovakic Sausage, Highway 60 in Snook.
Looking for more ways to save money? Aren't we all? Jenny here. Shop your local Big Deals online store. You'll find gift certificates to all kinds of local businesses, places where you already shop, restaurants you already love, and great local entertainment. The best part? All of these gift certificates are on sale at discounted prices. Get them for yourself or buy them as a gift. Shop and save. You'll be glad you did.
AggielandBigDeals.com to save big. AggielandBigDeals.com.
Swing free all summer long at Big Shots Golf. Get your Hot Shot Summer Pass and enjoy perks you won't want to miss. With the Hot Shot Summer Pass at Big Shots Golf, you'll get 2 hours of tee box time for up to 6 people per day. Plus, kids 12 and under eat free on Mondays, and you get special summer perks valued up to $200. Get the Big Shots Golf Hot Shot Summer Pass today while supplies last. Buy yours today at BigShotsGolf.com or swing by.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Max Kellerman.
Do I believe Draymond think that he has a really good team that's going to compete at the highest level? Yeah, I think he believes that. Does he believe they got another championship or 2 inside of that arena? I think he believes that, but I don't personally subscribe to believing that he believes they're going to win 3 out of the next 4.
Listen in to Key, J. Will, and Max, powered by WC Tractor from 5 to 8 on The Zone.
these empties, Lord, as soon as I find where they lay. Tied off them jolly and leaving mines on a long, hot summer day. And forever.
All right, we're back. We have Brad and Brenham on the BCSI hotline. Brad and Brenham wants to comment on conference realignment and is on line one. Brad, what's up?
Bring some intelligence into this conversation, Brad.
Well, I'm going to agree with Ronnie. I think short term, SEC advantage would be to get North Carolina and Miami for TV purposes. Clemson and Florida State add nothing TV-wise. But long term, it's really not going to matter conference anymore. It's like the NFL. You don't care if somebody's AFC Central, AFC South. It's going to be a 50-60 league. You're going to have one commissioner. Everybody's going to abide by the same set of rules. And Fox and ESPN are going to divide out what games they carry each week, kind of like the NFL has CBS or Fox.
I don't disagree with that.
Well, but Brad.
And that's what it's all going to eventually come to. But the short term, yes, they're going to divide out here by conferences. Long term, TV will mold this into like an NFL. It'll turn into a 12 to 16 team playoff. And it really is not going to matter so much all of these shifts that are going on now because it's all going to become one of the halves of the 50-60 team thing.
But
that was just kind of my take. Eventually, TV will work it out.
Well, first of all, I was the one that's pushing North Carolina. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm assuming since you're on TexAgs Radio that you are an Aggie. Do you think that that you have the Houston market when you get A&M?
Yes.
So, therefore, wouldn't you think that you have the Miami market if you got the University of Florida?
No, because it's more the northern part, and I think you're dealing more in the South Florida. It's kind of like Clemson. It doesn't add. It's really a small, and a lot of it too is a league. That you've got to push a certain amount, of revenue. It's kind of like that's why Oregon and Washington are stuck as far as going to the Big Ten because those schools are going to have to take less money to take them.
Yeah, it sounds like you're making my argument for me.
Yeah, no, but I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying that
I guarantee anybody that there are far more. If there's 1 million people that live in Miami, there are 800,000, 750,000 that follow Florida. It's the flagship state, the flagship university in that state, and the majority of the graduates in Miami went to Florida.
Well, we'd have to crowdsource that. I have no idea.
I guarantee it, but I don't have the actual numbers. I don't know how to find those numbers.
I still think they'll have the TV on. It's kind of like Texas. Darn good and well, they bring a lot of TV sets, but it's not really like what you're saying, almost passing fans. It's because you have it on because it's a popular thing to do. I still think it would be North Carolina and Miami. But like I said, given in a few years, I think that's all irrelevant. They're going to cover the Miami, North Carolina market anyhow as Fox and ESPN divide this out.
You'd be better. You'd be better to get Florida State than Miami. That's why.
Brad, we appreciate the call, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
No, I mean, look, there's valid points for all these schools. I think there's a valid point for North Carolina. I think there's a valid point for Florida State. There's clearly valid points for Clemson. I think there's valid points for Miami. This is the direction it's going. Like, I think all those schools, Miami, Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, I think they're all going to end up in the SEC footprint, and whatever that means, this is the direction that college football is going. And I do like what he said about how the TV contracts are going to kind of run this whole thing.
I think he's –
what governs this? Is it going to be each conference is his own deal? Is there like a commissioner?
I think what you're going eventually you'll have you'll have like maybe what you'd call a conference president of the, and then there'll be one commissioner, because I think and you'll have one set of like all the officials are under one umbrella instead of, well, we got your SEC officials, you got everybody's going to work.
One governing body.
Right.
And then what does that
and they're
do?
still going to suck, by the way.
What does that do for, like, do they restructure NIL? I mean, there's so much.
They're going to try to, but I don't know what you can do.
How can you do that?
But I'll tell you this, on Saturdays, when the Aggies run out there on Kyle Field, you're going to have 100,000 people losing their mind.
Well, here's my other question, or one of the questions that I had. And look, this is going to take us a long time to get through all this, because I think there's a lot of weeds here too. Does the current system just eat itself? Right? Or as things are going, the new current system, is it just eating itself? When does the money dry up? And is this new model going to run off fans?
It will run off some fans. It will run off some fans. But
where's all the money going to come from to do all this stuff you want to do, right? Because you can only tap the donor base so much before they're going, okay, like,
all the stuff you want to do. What do you want to do?
Facilities, you're going to have to keep up.
It's coming from television. It's coming from these. The reason how come they're doing this is because you're going to get even more money from television.
Sure.
And then you're going to get more money from the 12 to 16 team playoff when that comes. And
so you think
and the donors are still going to give money.
Okay.
They may, but you're only, again, the A&M's fine. Whatever happens, A&M's fine. Texas is fine. Oklahoma's fine. LSU's fine. If I'm UH, if I'm Baylor, if I'm Oklahoma State, I'm a little bit paranoid right now.
Well,
maybe a whole lot paranoid.
Well, I got some.
The Big 12 and what's left of the Big 12 and what's left of the Pac-12 is probably going to get together.
And then what happens when the ACC looks?
The ACC has to keep North Carolina, and they have to keep Florida State, and maybe to some degree Clemson.
It's interesting.
Do you want to build? Because football is what's going to pay the bills. Basketball's great, but football's what pay the bills. That's why nobody's pushing for Kansas. But basket, especially not Texas, they don't want them in the SEC. But anyway, basket. So if you lose, what do you have if you don't have? If you're the ACC, Louisville, Boston College,
this stuff better work. Like, it better be, like, the money better be good enough because you're going to start cutting sports. How are you going to have logistically, a team on the West Coast play UCLA or USC, play Penn State, Rutgers, those schools, Maryland, those Big Ten schools in the East? Logistically, how is that going to work in all sports?
Well,
and then every time a team comes out west, they're going to have to play USC and UCLA. Or you're going to make them fly out west, fly back for a couple of weeks, fly back out west.
Well, they probably, they'll probably say, you don't have to. Boston College or Maryland doesn't have to play USC, UCLA, and
somebody's going to. Is Jimmy flying over halfway across the country?
Or if they do, it'll be. Maryland's going to fly to UCLA for a basketball game on Friday
and play
USC on Tuesday.
The logistics of this whole thing are going to be a nightmare. It's going to be really tough. Yeah. And there may be sports suffer because of it, but football runs the show, and so I don't know that many people are going to care. I don't know that many people care about anything outside of football on the West Coast, and not even football's questionable.
Again, it's
But you're still doing a disservice to some of the student athletes, no question.
Well, what disservice? I mean, what student athletes are you doing the disservice to?
Well, I would say the non-revenue sports. Right.
The non-revenue sports.
Again, this is all part of the model. If you're happy with the way this is going.
And it's only the male non-revenue sports.
No, everybody suffers on this thing.
Okay, let me explain something. Title IX. Whatever you have for your men,
well, I understand
you
that.
Have to do.
But I'm talking about just the student athlete. It doesn't matter what sport they play. Flying across the country. And
if that's the disservice, we're going to do you a disservice. You're going to have to go to L.A. for the weekend.
Dude,
By the way, that was a disservice to me.
All right, we come back. We'll close the hour. Ryan Brauninger, Olin Buchanan on TexAgs Radio. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers on the Zone.
So I went through an emergency situation when I was on break. I had to go to the emergency room in Georgia with my kids, and let me tell you right now, there's nothing more stressful. I went through it, and that's why I'm happy to team up with Caprock Health here in town, because I know this. Not all places are like this. We stopped by an urgent care there in Georgia, and the wait was forever. It was just not a good environment. I know when I go to Caprock, or when you go to Caprock, you're going to get patient-centered care. They're going to make you feel better immediately. That is what they do, and they've been doing it for a long, long time. They've got 2 convenient, state-of-the-art locations designed for patient healing and family friendliness. You got the Caprock Hospital in Bryan and Caprock 24-hour emergency center in College Station, and they both have 0 wait times for emergency care, so you'll never have to sit in a crowded waiting room. The hospital and the 24-hour ER maintain a clean and sterile, safe environment. They're going to take care of you right when you walk in there, and you'll get out of there ASAP feeling much, much better. It is Caprock Health. Go check them out.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. Applications are now open for the Battleground to Breaking Ground project, a 4-phase educational program available to veterans, active duty military, their families, and other beginning farmers and ranchers. Learn more at txagribility.tamu.edu. BCS Habitat for Humanity is hosting its annual Bowl to Build tournament on Friday, July 15th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Grand Station Entertainment. Space is limited, so go online to habitatbcs.org to learn more and sign your team up today. The Bush Library invites students ages 7 to 11 to their Exploring History Camp. 4-day camps take place in July and include art activities, science experiments, geography exploration, and games. Visit bush41.org to learn more. Every Thursday night when the Brazos Valley Bombers are home, it's Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by The Zone. $1 beer, soda, or water. It's Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by The Zone. That's your community calendar. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
We're here with Jason Rollo of Rollo Insurance. Jason, when we say the difference is real, what does that mean?
Let's take the term real, R-E-A-L. Rates, education, assets, and life. And here's what I mean. People think insurance is about rates, and although those are important, it's really about education of the product you're buying so we can protect the assets of people, and we want to do that for life. Insurance is about taking care of people, and that's what we mean when we say the difference is real.
For more information, go to rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs.
Hey parents, when it comes to your child's education, there's a lot to consider. No matter what you're searching for, search the Bryan Broadcasting half-price tuition program first. We've partnered with schools and learning centers throughout the area to get your students started with high-quality programs at half price. Right now, we're featuring half-price tuitions at Hopewell Classical Day School, Kinder Music, Happy Camper School, and more. Half-price tuitions are first come, first served, and availability is limited. Go to halfpricebrazos.com.
The flagship station for Aggie athletics is The Zone. Whenever the Aggies are playing, you can hear them right here at 1150 and 93.7 FM. Thanks to our listeners and our Aggie broadcast sponsors. Lance Lester at the Lester Group, Zwerneman Flooring, The Sleep Station, and Twin Peaks. Here's a big gig-em to all these sponsors. Listen to Aggie Athletics on The Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM.
DJ K-Dub checking in, previously on the Feinbaum Show.
I was trying to grow it long one time. I ran into Charles Barkley one day in a locker room at a golf tournament. He basically said, "What the are you doing with your hair?" He said, "Just shave the thing off." I tried it once, and it was scary. I decided whatever hair I have, I'm going to wear versus the cone look.
It's the Paul Feinbaum Show, powered by Polaris Fun Center, 2 to 4 weekdays on The Zone.
Some spirited conversation this morning. Ryan Brauninger, Olin Buchanan, Go Hour, TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
Weird thing is, other than Miami being a more attractive team than a North Carolina to add, I don't know that we disagree on anything.
No, but I think this is just a big issue that we're both very passionate about because we love college sports, and the future of college football is not in jeopardy. They're going to play college football, but what it looks like is going to be very much in question.
It may be in jeopardy for some programs, though. Our Cal, supposedly, I don't know where I heard this, but is supposedly considering dropping football. I've heard that. I don't know.
What happened? So if you're Dave Aranda sitting in Waco, Texas, and all this stuff's happening around you, don't you think those job offers that come knocking every offseason for him because he's been so successful don't you start going, okay, do I need to get out of this? Because what happens to Oklahoma State and Baylor and Cal and Washington State and Kansas State, what division do they play in?
Well,
is there like a Division I, which is where all these super conferences are going to be, and now Baylor and all those schools are now a D2? And this isn't a shot at Baylor. The reality of the situation is they're not being brought up in any of these conference moves.
You know what's interesting, though? They're talking about maybe joining, the Big 12, which one of the reasons the Pac-12, who's left over, the remnants. We talked about that. One of the big reasons that that BYU was never extended invitation to the Pac-12 was because Cal and Stanford were adamant that they would not vote for a church-based university for membership. Well, now you need them to be in. If you look at the Big 12 and what's left, and the Pac-12 what's left, you put them together. That's a huge conference, and maybe it becomes viable. But then you got Cal say, yeah, but I don't know about BYU. And someone says, actually, we need BYU more than we need you, Cal.
Well, sure.
So.
Well, and then Cal would be going in a conference with TCU and Baylor.
Well, not TCU, but you're saying right. So we need these more than we need you, Cal.
Yeah.
And Stanford, for that matter.
Well, those are all, you talk about religious-based schools, right?
Right.
So, but again, in a combination conference of Pac-12 and Big 12 leftovers, you're going to have cross-country flights from Morgantown, West Virginia to.
Yeah, I'm thinking Morgantown. Maybe looking at the ACC soon. West Virginia say, hey, is there any way we can get in with you guys?
This whole thing's, but you make the same arguments. It's like, okay, what is that new conference? What level are they playing at?
That's good. That's why I said with the ACC, it's so important that you keep.
They
North
better
Carolina.
make moves quick. Yes,
you got to do something to make sure you got North Carolina, Florida State, and Clemson.
But Miami won't make.
Well, okay.
So Miami's coming to the SEC.
Miami's a private school.
I know. I'm just getting you wound up again with the Miami stuff. When we come back, Olin's going to stick around for another half hour. Thank you. It's been, like I said, that hour flew by.
Yeah.
We were getting into it so good. Okay. Ryan Brauninger, Olin Buchanan on the other side of the break. You listen to TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
Your secret high place. That spot that only you know about. And instead of what you came for, you found something a little different. What if instead of your private stash, you found a simple phone number? 1-800-662-HELP. What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? Would you make the call? The truth is, all drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, before drugs turn your life upside down, before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. If you or someone you love is struggling with drug use or prescription drug misuse, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/thereishelp.
Download podcast of your favorite shows, Louie, Jim, or TexAgs in the Pod Center at zone1150.com. Subscribe and have them downloaded daily for you in the Pod Center at zone1150.com. This is KZNE College Station Bryan.
From WTAW, I'm Chelsea Reber with a news update on the zone. 6 Bryan police officers respond to a call from a woman at 2:40 in the morning on Sunday reporting that a man broke into a neighbor's duplex and was trying to take a 1-year-old child.
According to the BPD arrest report, the baby's 3 siblings, ages 3, 8, and 11, kept the man from taking the baby. The older children told officers they locked themselves in a bedroom, but the man knocked down the door, striking one of the children in the head. Another child was hit by something the man threw at her. When the neighbors showed up, the man left in an SUV that was driving on rims. The SUV was found at a convenience store. A Houston man arrested on charges of burglary of a habitation with the intent to commit another felony, causing the reckless injury of a child, and DWI with a breath alcohol level above 0.15. Bill Oliver, 1620 94.5 WTAW.
Bryan police report no one was injured in an armed robbery Sunday morning just before 7 at the Highway 21 truck stop. No suspect description was given as the person with a handgun fled on foot with an undisclosed amount of cash. If you've had interaction with the College Station Fire Department, you're asked to complete an online survey.
And even if you haven't recently interacted with the fire department and you just want to share your thoughts about what you think your College Station Fire Department should be, you can share those ideas and thoughts with us.
CSFD Captain Stuart Marr says the survey location is cstx.gov/fire. The City of Bryan's development administrator says she's seeing a lot of interest in the city's custom home building design in the Midtown area.
There's a certain section of town that the city has pre-prepared building plans for. There's variations, so you don't get the cookie cutter look.
Lauren Hovde says examples are online at bryantx.gov/Midtown Patterns. The Midtown Zoning District, which was created in May of 2020, applies to single-family and multifamily structures, along with a combination of residential and commercial buildings. For more news, go to WTAW.com. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
If you have a debit card, you're used to spending money. But what if your card actually ended up earning you money? That's not exactly normal, but that's what you can get at A&B. It's called Kasasa Cashback Checking. Don't mind the weird name. What you need to know is that it's a free account with cash rewards. Use your debit card for everyday purchases, and we'll pay you cash back every month. If that doesn't sound like normal banking, well, guess what? We're not a normal bank. So contact A&B today and ask for Kasasa or visit ANB.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Since 1957, Slovakic Sausage in Chestnut has been making the best tasting sausage in Texas from the same family recipe. Slovakic is the official sausage of Texas A&M Athletics. Whether it's from the grill to the family gathering or from the pit to the neighborhood party, serve the sausage voted best in the Brazos Valley. Serve Slovakic. Be sure to come in and check out their full-service meat market, relax on the front porch, or grab some fresh kolaches from their bakery on your way out. Slovakic Sausage, Highway 60 in Snook.
Good morning, sports fans. I'm Zach Taylor with your Aggie Sports Minute on The Zone. The Sports Minute is brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. Call 936-825-0500 or click HilcoSupply.com. Texas A&M is finished at number 25 in this year's Learfield Directors' Cup standings. 13 of A&M's athletics programs contributed in points, including top 10 efforts by third-ranked baseball, number 3 women's golf, number 4 women's outdoor track and field, 5th-ranked men's indoor track and field, number 5 women's tennis, and number 10 women's indoor track and field. It marked the 16th straight year that the Maroon and White had finished in the top 25. Texas placed first in the Cup standings, followed by Stanford, Michigan, Ohio State, and Florida. A&M men's golfers Sam Bennett and Walker Lee wrapped up play at the Arnold Palmer Cup this past weekend in Geneva, Switzerland. Bennett was edged by Florida's Fred Biondi by 2 strokes in Sunday's singles play, while Lee fell to Oklahoma State's Rasmus Niergaard Peterson by 4 strokes. Both Aggies competed for Team USA, which lost to Team International 33-27. Bennett, a senior from Madisonville, is one of the top amateurs in the country, while Lee, a 5th-year senior from Houston, was recently named a Ping third-team All-American. And the Brazos Valley Bombers had the past few days off, but they'll be back in action this evening as they travel to Victoria. First pitch against the Generals is tonight at 7 o'clock. And that's been your Aggie Sports Minute, brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. On The Zone, I'm Zach Taylor.
You can listen to Aggie football, basketball, and baseball on your Amazon Dot or Echo. Step 1, say, Alexa, enable Zone 1150 skill. Step 2, anytime you want to hear fighting Texas Aggie football, Texas A&M women's basketball, or Aggie baseball, all you have to do is say, Alexa, play Zone 1150. It's that simple to listen to your favorite A&M teams that play on the Zone with your Amazon Dot or Echo. Make sure to say one time, Alexa, enable Zone 1150 skill. Then say, Alexa, play Zone 1150.
Hour number 2, TexAgs Radio on a Tuesday morning, July the 5th. Hope you guys are getting back into the work routine very well today after the holiday weekend. I'm Ryan Brauninger. Olin Buchanan sticking around with me for another couple of segments as we continue our conversation on conference realignment. We're inside the Rollo Insurance Studios, and don't forget, and we already had a caller on the BCSI hotline. You can interact with the show, 979-693-1150 BCSI hotline. The Amarillo National Bank text line. OB, I really think something you said during the break there caught my attention. What happens with Notre Dame?
That, I'm sure the Big Ten is trying to get them right now. The ACC, if they play an ACC schedule now, or just about. 2 years ago in COVID, of course, they were an ACC team. So that Notre Dame would save the ACC, but if the Big Ten could get them, then that's the plum out there, right? But if Notre Dame continues to say, no, we're not going to join a conference, what's going to keep college football from saying, okay, well, we're going to move on without you? We're talking about this 70-team Super League or Super Division. What if they say, okay, well, you know what? You're not in it.
There's going to have to be some pride swallowed on one side of that argument. I don't mean what would the proposal be, that if they don't join, they're playing a lower division? Or they're out on
the
football?
proposal is just like, oh, here's the deal. What we're doing, we've got our own division now. And it has all the major conferences. And we're not in the NCAA anymore. We have our own deal. And we offered you a chance to be part of it. And you said no, because to be part of our deal, you got to be in this one of these conferences. And you said no. Okay, fine. We're moving on without you. And you can play Baylor and TCU and Texas Tech and Oklahoma and the teams from the West Coast, Oklahoma State. You can play Cal and Stanford and Army and Navy. But when it comes time to have that playoff, you're not in it. And when we're going to crown our national champion, you're not going to be part of it.
You don't think NBC would step in and say, whoa.
Wait, is NBC even part of this? Because it's all right now we're talking about ESPN and Fox.
Right. But they've got a huge contract, right, with Notre Dame to be the exclusive TV provider.
Fine, and they can still do that. But you know what?
Right, but their viewership's going to get eaten up quite a bit, right?
So I've always felt like Notre Dame is only as powerful as the rest of college football allows them to be. And if you finally say, look, we don't need them. Hey, we want you.
Right.
I want you. It comes that significant other that's finally it's not worth the trouble. Hey, I want you. Come on, marry me. But no, you keep telling me no. Fine, I'm moving on. And I'm going to be okay.
If Notre Dame is open to joining a conference, they are in an enviable position, right? Because
everybody wants them.
Everybody wants them, and so I don't know what kind of care package you can put together to entice. But we're maybe seeing conferences recruit programs.
Well, we're already seeing that.
But no, I'm talking about where it's like a bidding war, pulling back and forth, right? I don't think the SEC was too interested in trying to get USC and UCLA.
I think
in the next round of moves.
I think the SEC was interested in Texas and Oklahoma, so they wouldn't go to the Big Ten.
Yeah, maybe they jumped the gun or got the head start and got the ball rolling, certainly. But like with Notre Dame, like you always see it with programs recruiting kids. You never see it with conferences recruiting programs where it's like,
well, it's just going to be programmed now.
Yeah, and like how much of that? Okay, I'm Notre Dame. And you're the Big Ten. Okay, Big Ten, you want us to come. What does our TV share look like with you guys?
You know what you say?
Just like everybody else.
Just like everybody else.
Right.
Because we're going to make so much money.
But the ACC is not in a position where they can say that.
Right.
The ACC goes, well, we'll give you whatever you want, right? In order for us to stay as a viable conference, we've got to have you.
But they better have North Carolina.
So the desperation in the recruiting pitch gets a lot different. It starts to sound like some of these ones across the country that we're seeing with these programs going in on these 5-star kids and going.
But the deal is, you're probably in these super conferences, and what the deals are going to be, you're probably going to make more money as a conference member than you will as a independent. Why would BYU want to join a conference if it didn't mean more money to them?
The scheduling of this whole thing gets really, really interesting, right? Because how does it all get itself worked out? And if you've got 2 super conferences or 3 as one league, are you docked points? Is A&M docked points for playing U of H and Baylor? Or like how do you go about scheduling all that? Or are you allowed to schedule games outside of the super conference? There's a lot of stuff that's got to be sorted out with this thing.
Good question, because maybe you just play teams within the framework of whatever.
If you've got a 26 team league, right, you could play 13 games against.
Well, you can play non-conference games, but maybe you're playing those Big Ten teams and that Big 12, Pac-12 conglomerate. You know.
Yep. In 10 years, we'll have probably all the answers.
May not be that long.
Maybe 5, right? Like in terms of like when this thing, the dust
2025.
Did you see? I read the tweet from Reddit College Football. Let me see if I can find it again real quick. But it was pretty funny because you know, as you start kind of looking at this and pontificating on how it all comes out of the wash, it does start to sound like. Here's the tweet right here from Reddit College Football. They said. Well, where'd I go?
Why don't you paraphrase?
Hearing rumors of a proposal to merge the Big Ten and the SEC, and then add select other teams to form a 131-school ultra mega super conference. This would then be subdivided into 8 to 12 team divisions based on regions and traditional rivalries. Essentially, back to what it is, without the umbrella of the NCAA. And I think that's the ultimate goal. And you know, one of the questions I asked you, and it was a quick affirmative, was. Are we witnessing the death of the NCAA?
Yes.
Yes, we are. And so what the power brokers and the decision makers behind all of this stuff, these moving parts, maybe we're going, look, we'll all get back together. The whole system will get back together in terms of playing in the same division. We'll just have a different governing body, which is what we all want anyway. If that's the end goal of this, is just to eliminate the NCAA.
I don't think so.
No, it's money, right? Power and greed are strong elements in the human experience.
When the major universities a few years ago wanted to go to autonomy and pay year-round tuition and expenses, remember that it was the summer the kids were back on their own,
right?
And one of the biggest, one of the programs that fought the most against that was Boise State. Because they're like, well, do we really want this to be what this is about? Well, yeah, that's the big schools say, yeah, this is what we want it to be about. We want it to be about being able to take, to give our
use the advantages we have,
right? And Boise State had to then get on board. Well, this is going to be where we're headed. Is again. The Texas A&M, let me say that again, the Texas A&M, the Texas, the LSU, Alabama, all those, Michigan, Ohio State, are they don't want to be, they don't want the Boise States to have any influence on what they are going to do. We are going to do what we want to in our neighborhood. You do what you want to in your neighborhood.
Yep.
And you're not going to tell us what to do. And so
the problem is there's going to be a lot of schools, and it's not, just the problems that are going to come up is that some schools don't know what neighborhood they live in. They think they live in the big mansion up the street.
Well, if you're in the conference, you're in the neighborhood.
So now what is Baylor in the neighborhood anymore?
Well,
is TCU in the neighborhood
I don't
anymore?
think so.
Right. But there's a lot of people in Waco and Fort Worth and Lubbock that probably think they are. And in Stillwater.
Oh, I think they're all very paranoid right now.
Yeah. Again, like in the political pressure that on this, in the fallout of this, is going to be real.
Again, it's to the point though where they're going to say, "What are you going to do?" Texas and A&M, like if the Texas legislature tries to pull something like they did, back when the Big 12 was being discussed, that merger. Now you're going to say, "What are you doing? What do you mean we got to do something?"
Well, didn't Ann Richards essentially save Baylor
and Bob Bullock?
Yeah,
it's saving Texas Tech. I think that's what his name was. Bob Bullock. Was he the lieutenant governor from Texas Tech at that time?
Ann Richards is a Baylor.
Well, I know that, but there was the lieutenant governor has more power in Texas than the governor does.
Well, we've gone through this.
What I wonder happens is, do you get to a point where to remain that you got to do certain things to remain in the?
You're about kicking people out.
I wonder if that becomes a deal. Like, hey, Vandy, if you can't average 40,000 fans and start being more of a contributor a giver than a taker. You're going to have, you know what, you want to stay here? You're going to have to do something about that antiquated football stadium and that antiquated basketball stadium. You're going to have to start putting money into your programs if you want to stay. You know, are they going to do that? Certainly, you got to average 30 to 40,000 fans, or you can't be.
But yeah, like
at what point did it say we're going to just keep propping you up?
Purdue, they grandfathered in the Big Ten, and they're going to be
I don't know
riding on the coattails of all this new happening, and they're just kind of, like I said, grandfathered in. They're going to be in the new Big Ten. Right. They're going to be in this new super conference. But you were talking about their stadium being dilapidated and everything needed an upgrade.
Yeah. I've been to Ross-Ade, but at least they can draw fans.
Yeah, I mean,
but
there's a program like Rutgers. I mean, they're in ACC, right?
They're in the Big Ten.
Big Ten. Like, what does Rutgers do?
Well,
if you're talking about programs to kick out of conferences,
I don't know that they're going to do that.
Right.
But I wonder if that would be something that would come along in this. Hey, if you want to be in this, you're going to have to start because Vanderbilt, for instance, has been their fans there for years have been frustrated. What they get the money from the Big Ten, from the SEC. I'm sorry, and they wonder where it goes. Because their facilities never get, their coaches they make, good money like everybody does, but they don't make outrageous money. And they never do anything with their facilities. Where's the money going?
Well, if I'm TCU, Oklahoma State, and Baylor, and I'm on the outside looking into this thing, and I'm going, hold on, why do they get to stay? And like, they're riding these coattails.
Because they were already there.
Right. There ain't nothing fair. The fair's in October, right?
Right. Yeah. It used to be, they used to say, well, at least at Vanderbilt, it makes us look better academically. But now, and they're good in other things, but now they're only good in baseball. And then you say, I think bowling. I think their women's bowling team won a national championship not too long ago. But I'm not saying that they're going to push a team like Vanderbilt out. I just wonder if that could be a possibility.
When we come back, we're going to get into some A&M specific stuff. We'll try to flip the conversation at Olin's last segment. And then I will be steering the ship for the remainder of the 9 o'clock hour. We got Lucci coming in studio in about 50 minutes. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about the stuff we talked about. That's Olin Buchanan. I'm Ryan Brauninger. Listen to TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. Wednesday mornings this summer, Hospice Brazos Valley is offering a free grief support class for adults grieving the death of a loved one. Contact Hospice Brazos Valley for more information. The Arts Council of the Brazos Valley invites public and private school teachers, active and retired, to submit their work for a new exhibit called Saved by the Bell, celebrating art education in the Brazos Valley. Find more information at acbv.org. Come to the Bush Library on Thursday, July 21st at 6 p.m. to hear Ambassador Larry Napper discuss the war in Ukraine and its impact on the future. RSVP is required. Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Brazos Valley is seeking adult volunteers. Go online to bbsbrazos.com. You can listen to The Zone online at radioaggieland.com. Listen to TexAgs Radio, The Louis Bellina Show, Chip Howard, or ESPN Radio, plus all your favorite A&M teams online at radioaggieland.com. That's your community calendar. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
Swing free all summer long at Big Shots Golf. Get your Hot Shot Summer Pass and enjoy perks you won't want to miss. With the Hot Shot Summer Pass at Big Shots Golf, you'll get 2 hours of tee box time for up to 6 people per day. Plus, kids 12 and under eat free on Mondays, and you get special summer perks valued up to $200. Get the Big Shots Golf Hot Shot Summer Pass today while supplies last. Buy yours today at bigshotsgolf.com or swing by.
Progressive Snapshot can save you money based on how you drive and how much you drive. So the safer you drive, the more money you could save. Now, if you didn't hear that because you were yelling at another car while driving, let me say it again. You need to calm down. Yelling is just making everyone as stressed out as you are and letting them all know that you definitely aren't trying to save with Progressive Snapshot. And if you did hear it the first time because you weren't yelling at another car, nice work. You'd love Snapshot from Progressive because it rewards safe drivers. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California and North Carolina or from all agents.
Hey parents, when it comes to your child's education, there's a lot to consider. No matter what you're searching for, search the Bryan Broadcasting half-price tuition program first. We've partnered with schools and learning centers throughout the area to get your students started with high-quality programs at half price. Right now, we're featuring half-price tuitions at Hopewell Classical Day School, Kinder Music, Happy Camper School, and more. Half-price tuitions are first come, first served, and availability is limited. Go to halfpricebrazos.com.
Enter now at zone1150.com and you can win a Texas Summer Survival Kit presented by Field of Family and the Smokin' Aces barbecue team. Impress the guests at your next backyard barbecue when you serve locally owned, locally grown premium beef from Field of Family. Order online today at shopfieldofamily.com. Enter now. You can enter once a week, once a day, Thursday through Saturday. Enter every week to play. Enter now at zone1150.com.
I work the rigs from 3 to midnight on the Corpus Christi Bay.
That is Robert Earl Keen singing that song. If you have not heard, Robert Earl Keen will be opening the brand new Aggie Park with a concert.
Really? I had not heard
Friday. That. It's the Friday before the first football game, and it will be Robert Earl Keen's last time to play College Station.
So September 2nd.
Yeah, Friday the 2nd. Yep. And it'll be Max Stalling will be opening for Robert Earl Keen. Max Stalling's obviously an Aggie as well. But I wish I had more information about how to go on and get tickets. Or I think it's a free concert, actually.
Yes, free concert.
Free concert. So how cool is that?
I bet you I could just sit on the balcony at TexAgs and hear it.
You probably could, but you wouldn't be able to see it. I mean, it'd be the last time to get to see Robert Earl play.
I met him once. He wouldn't remember it, but we actually shook hands.
Where was this at?
In downtown Bryan, about 1993.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I bet he doesn't remember.
Oh, he doesn't. I had a friend who was a DJ at one of the country stations in town and introduced us.
Cool. Well, we had some A&M football stuff actually happening.
Tell me.
Even though that it doesn't seem like it. It's summer move-ins, and then they start summer workouts, and that's about all that's going on across the street. And I think even a lot of them were on vacation for the 4th. But I think they start getting like really into this summer training in earnest this coming week.
When are they going to start getting some more commitments?
I would think by the end of the month they'll have a few more added. But
more?
We got to wait. That conversation's got to wait till either. It's probably got to wait till tomorrow. I've got to fill 2 shows here with nothing going on.
But you know what? People want to know. That's what people are always talking about now.
Yeah, there are some people out there that it doesn't bother me. I mean, everybody's got a job to do, right? But there are people that literally, I don't know. And look, they may be getting information
from other outlets.
I'm not going to
not even call them an outlet.
Not even going to call. I'm not going to get in the specifics.
I didn't give a specific.
There are people that do the recruiting stuff that I think that they get their information from people that want to tell them good things, right? Over the course of our history at TexAgs, starting with Billy, I think that we have a history and reputation of getting information that matters and that is quality information. So there are reports out there about kids that A&M is recruiting that I think are very much false.
Okay.
And we'll get more into that. I don't want to spoil anything because I should have an update on a couple of kids soon on the site that our paying members.
Yeah, as a guy that doesn't follow recruiting, especially like you do, I would think if I can get a good running back, a good quarterback, the Shanahan guy, and maybe a couple more offensive linemen. Did I say a quarterback yet?
You got to get linebackers.
A quarterback, and then I was going to say, and get me the Hill kid and the Hicks guy, and I'm going to feel pretty good about where the Aggies
they're going to end up being fine, man. It's going to be a smaller class. They'll probably take just over 20. We're guessing in the 20 to 22, 23 range. They're going to get really good players, man. There's just everybody is woe is me, and it's been the typical.
Isn't it always this way about this time of year?
Well, not last year.
Last year they got a big.
It was a huge summer for them last year, but the circumstances were so much different.
Yeah,
you had a way more concentrated pool of players that you were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Houston was incredibly good, which made it very easy.
Maybe 2 years ago, or when they had that number 3 class.
Yeah, I think it'll be top 6. I think they'll end up with a top 6 class. I feel pretty good about where they're at with Shanahan. And I think, I know that I feel pretty good about some kids in DFW. I feel like A&M's in an enviable position for David Hicks and Anthony Hill.
If they finish number 6, I'd take that right now. If you feel me there, yeah.
Absolutely. But what I was saying was, they've got these kids moving in that were part of that 22 class that we didn't get to see at all because they weren't here in the spring. And so now these summer move-ins. So my question is to you, some names of these summer move-ins that you're most intrigued by. In other words, who you want to hear stuff about in off-season workouts, and then when you go out there for the first day of fall practice, you really want to see these new guys.
Well,
make
first
a point
of all,
to go over there and watch them.
Any of the defensive linemen.
So it's Walter Nolan.
Yeah, I want to see
Shamar Stewart. Malik Silla. Eni White. And am I missing one?
And
Gabe Brownlow-Dindy is already here.
He was already here, but we didn't see him in the spring because he was a little bit hurt.
I think I'm missing somebody.
They
signed 30 of them last year.
I know you can't.
I can't remember all of them. Walter, Shamar, Gabe, LT Overton.
Oh yeah.
We saw Anthony Lucas. Man, such a good.
So
I
want to.
I'm sure I'll know the middle bottom of the class. I just got to Malik Silla.
I want to. Godzilla, right?
Yeah, Godzilla.
So I want to see all those guys, of course. And Evan Stewart's already here. Chris Marshall's already here.
No,
right?
Chris Marshall just got here.
Right.
That was one. He was on my list.
Then that's one.
Yeah. Haynes came in and did that interview with Billy, and I just kind of happened to ask him, "What do you think of the guys that have come in?" And Chris Marshall is one of the names that came.
Maybe that's why I got confused there.
Yeah. So, Noah Thomas is another one.
Yeah, I've heard great things about him, and I kind of like the three-star.
Le'Veon Moss,
he's a running back,
Martrell Harris, Hunter Erb. I mean,
I've seen Hunter Erb. I like Hunter Erb because he reminds me of Kyle Turley. I haven't seen him play yet. I hope he plays like Kyle Turley, but he has the long. He's getting that Hell's Angel look about him, and I love that in my white guy offensive lineman. I love the Hell's Angels look.
And then Cam Dewberry was a kid that there's an open spot, maybe two open spots on the offensive line, and he's behind the eight ball a little bit from a learning curve and probably a strength standpoint, but in terms of a technician and talent-wise, he won't be taking a step back to anybody that's in that offensive line room. So those are some names I'm really intrigued by. What does P.J. Williams look like? What does Donovan Green look like? You can make a case for every one of those guys coming in this summer. That's why it was Well, I don't know. We've never seen a recruiting class like that. I don't know that we ever will again, especially I don't know that conglomeration of talent all come in one place.
But do they typically change a lot unless in the way they look until they actually get with their college coaches and their college diet and their college strength and conditioning
I'm not talking
coaches.
about what they look like from a physical standpoint.
Okay.
Like Chris Marshall, I know what he has put on some really good weight. Like he doesn't look like a basketball kid playing football anymore. But I'm talking about how do they fit athletically with the group here? Are they jumping ahead of people already?
You know Chris Marshall, right? You've dealt with him.
Yeah.
Do you think he has any of the nastiness that Mike Evans had? Because I hear people say, I kind of like Mike Evans is the way he looks. But Mike Evans was just
build-wise, Noah Thomas looks more like Mike. And they're from Galveston, both from Galveston County.
Okay.
But they're not bringing in a kid in this new class, this freshman class, that's got a bigger chip on their shoulder than Chris Marshall.
Okay, I like that.
It is. He's a tough kid.
Good.
And he is ultra, ultra competitive.
That's a great thing.
So, Mike kind of, he had that red shirt year that kind of helped him channel all that the right way. But Chris he's super competitive. You ain't got to worry about that at all, man. A&M's got such a good hit rate with Missouri City kids, too.
Doesn't everybody, though? If you can get a guy from out of there, he's going to be a good player.
That may be something we tackle tomorrow, me and you. We start going through areas of the state of Texas that have been good to A&M specifically, and then really high hit rate areas. Like, hey, if you, for a while, if you got a kid out of Beaumont, he was going to go play in the NFL. That was when Beaumont was the football capital of the United States. It was
one time they had 22 guys in the NFL from Beaumont at the same time.
Jerry, they still talk about Jerry Ball and all those guys down there being just absolute legends, but. Maybe we'll look at that. What areas have been really good to A&M? Because when I even tweeted out whenever A&M got Damian Sanford committed out of Katy Pato, how good has Katy been?
Katie's been good
to A&M in recent years. And then I only went for a couple of years back. I think I added Seth Small to that list because he just graduated, and Cullen Gillespie. I didn't include him, and he got his feelings hurt.
Cullen has done better than a lot of guys from Katy that had scholarships. That's for sure.
Sure he has. And he's making quite a career for
himself. It changes, too, because there was a time, and I know you want to talk about this later in the week, but there was a time when guys came out of Longview and didn't do very well in college. And then it changed, and now you get a guy out of Longview, and they usually do really well.
There was a time when Lufkin was pumping them out, and you knew they were going to be pretty good players.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of flipped there, too. So, interesting topic. Olin, I appreciate you sticking around for a couple extra segments.
You're welcome.
We're trying to fill these dog days of summer with something. And
I talk a lot, so all you got to do is tee me up.
Yeah, and I thought the conversation in the first hour about realignment was really good. And hopefully, I know Billy will have
I'll be listening to hear Billy's opinions.
Emboldened takes on that stuff, too. And he'll probably vehemently disagree with everything I said, which will make for good radio.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, what else is new?
All right, I'll appreciate it, man. That's Olin Buchanan. I'm Ryan Brauninger. When we come back, we'll we may have some recruiting interview stuff that we can run, and we'll get Sam involved with the show a little bit to kill this rest of this 9 o'clock hour. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday morning out there. You're listening to TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
Our good friends there at the Association of Former Students take care of Aggies, and they've been doing it for such a long time. We're talking over 140 years. Your financial gifts have empowered them to be here, to be there, to be everywhere, and they continue to give, like Aggie Park that's about to open there. And that's a gift to the university. That's coming from the Association of Former Students. That's what they do. They give, they give, they give. The why is, well, they love sharing the Aggie network and the power of it and helping people. That's their why. And that is why they've created IamTheWhy.com. This is where Aggies share their unique stories and perspective. IamTheWhy.com. You can hear the why and see the why and discover Aggies just like you, that they are the why. Go out there to IamTheWhy.com. Pretty soon you'll be able to upload your story onto it and share your story. Again, a great collection of stories, few minutes long, and you're going to love every second of it. It is IamTheWhy.com, the Association of Former Students.
Did you text the show a snarky remark? He'll bark back. It's David Nuno on TexAgs Radio. Weekdays on the Zone.
We're here with Jason Rollo of Rollo Insurance. Jason, when we say the difference is real, what does that mean?
Let's take the term real, R-E-A-L. Rates, education, assets, and life. And here's what I mean. People think insurance is about rates, and although those are important, it's really about education of the product you're buying so we can protect the assets of people, and we want to do that for life. Insurance is about taking care of people, and that's what we mean when we say the difference is real.
For more information, go to RolloInsurance.com/TexAgs.
Question: would you pick a chain barbecue place over a hometown joint? Do you root for East Coast universities instead of the local team? Nah, then why choose a big Wall Street bank? A&B started in 1892. 5 generations later, we're still owned and operated by the same Texas family. We support this community. We value your privacy. We make quick decisions, and we hate red tape. We answer to you, not Wall Street. Bank with A&B. Family owned, Texas proud. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Jeff Vanderwood with Veribank. Veribank is continuing to grow in the Brazos Valley with a brand new full-service banking center on Highway 6 in front of Academy. We have a team of genuine bankers specializing in personal and business banking, wealth management, and investor real estate lending ready to serve you. Veribank is here to help you succeed financially, and you can bank on it.
Visit Verabank.com today. That's VERA Bank.com. Verabank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's time. Aggie parking registration is now open.
Register for your 2022-2023 parking assignment online at transport.tamu.edu by July 6th.
Be prepared to update your license plate number during the registration process.
Don't wait. Log on to transport.tamu.edu 24/7.
Register for your 2022-2023 parking now.
Brought to you by Texas A&M Transportation Services.
The flagship station for Aggie Athletics is The Zone. Whenever the Aggies are playing, you can hear them right here at 1150 and 93.7 FM. Thanks to our listeners and our Aggie broadcast sponsors, Pioneer Steel, Gulf States Toyota, Cherry Rafino with Coldwell Banker Apex Realty, and Amarillo National Bank. Here's a big gig-em to all these sponsors. Listen to Aggie Athletics on The Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM.
Keyshawn, J. Will,
and Max.
Dennis in Raleigh, North Carolina.
So what 19 said today about
Dennis, you stop referring to this man as